All right, you guys, what is going on, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video. And it's been a few days now since the big Genki Diamond 3 event. The Moro arc is coming back in the anime. We have the remake of the Dragon Ball Super God of Destruction Beerus saga in Dragon Ball Super Beerus now, and we also got the season 2 teaser trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, along with the new Dragon Ball game, what everybody is still calling Xenoverse 3 at this point, Dragon Ball New Game Project Age 1000. I don't know exactly if New Game Project is a part of the title, so we're just gonna call it Age 1000. But in this video, since we didn't really get to go in depth with the season 2 teaser trailer for Sparking Zero and everything that Furutani said at the event, because I was kind of trying to read what he was saying and also pay attention to you guys in the chat, that's what we're going to be doing today. And I also want to go over a little bit of an article and some things that I confirmed that you guys were telling me about Dragon Ball New Age 1000. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name like that. So we're gonna start off over here on Twitter, on the official Dragon Ball Games Twitter account, and we're gonna go over Jun Furutani's message directly to us about the new DLC for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So this first tweet from Dragon Ball Games is gonna say, a message from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero producer Jun Furutani. A new DLC is currently in development, expanding beyond playable characters. More details will be revealed in future announcements. And also down here, they gave us, information on the new update that we went over yesterday, which was Mission 1000. And there's also actually, I didn't even know there was patch notes right here. We're gonna go ahead and open that up next. But for now, let's go ahead and hop into Jun Furutani's direct message surrounding Season 2 DLC content for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the same message that we saw from the Genki Diamond Studio event, but I probably missed some things, so this is going to be good for me as well, just to make sure I understand everything that's coming.
Sparking Zero プロデューサーの古谷です。今回は本作の最新情報をお伝えできればと思っています。
And obviously, I'm sure they're going to show the season 2 teaser trailer again right here, which we can go ahead and kind of pause through this a little bit and point out some things that maybe we didn't see during the stream the other day.
Goes higher and higher! I'm going all out!
Man, this is when I was starting to lose my mind right here, but when Bardock showed up, when this happened, oh my goodness, bro, I almost cut a backflip in my desk.
Just die already!
All right, so we don't necessarily have to watch all of this all the way through again. We know we're getting Demon King Piccolo. Was he on a new stage? No, I don't think he's on a new stage. Neither was Super 17. Is this a new stage? I can't really tell if BoJack Movie Gohan is on a new stage, but at least we know that we're getting the BoJack Movie outfit for Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. So that's gonna be kind of this part right here too. Okay, so we know we're getting Kame House now. This is the first new stage that I think that they showed in this trailer. Actually don't even know if they showed another new stage, because that was the one that I was kind of locked in on the most. And obviously Champa, we saw Devilman's Foot. I think before this one we saw Grandpa Gohan as well, General Tai, Zangya, Pikkon, and the new super attacks. So just like a brief overview of everything that we know that is coming so far that they showed in this trailer. I think they showed one new stage, about 8 or 9 new characters, and obviously a new super attack with Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Okay, and Furutani is saying right here that this is only part of what's coming for this big season 2 kind of revamp for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Until now, our DLCs have mainly focused on adding playable characters. Look, this is why I feel like, man, even though season 1 in the first year of Sparking Zero was a little kind of anticlimactic, I feel like they were mainly trying to focus on getting all the Daima content out there while it was still fresh. It looks like they've really been paying attention to what the community has been saying, because especially over like my past 3 videos, I have been making a point to say this almost verbatim. Like, they focused a lot on just adding new characters in season 1, and this game needs a lot more than that to get the player base back. And this is literally exactly what they're addressing now. However, we wanted to deliver content that offers a deeper Dragon Ball experience. Yes. So we decided to develop a new DLC that includes various elements beyond just characters. Guys, that is literally verbatim what we've been talking about. I specifically over like the past 2 or 3 videos that we've done talking about Sparking Zero, not including the one yesterday, of course, that was just for Mission 100. This upcoming DLC will not only include new playable characters, but also costumes and stages. Verbatim what we've been talking about. Now, they kind of caught me off guard a little bit with adding the new super text. I think I only said something about that once, and I didn't really, you know, think that that would be something that they even did. But I mean, they went above and beyond with adding things like this too. This is straight from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, and many of you have requested, as well as a new single player mode for you to enjoy. Everything that we asked for, pretty much, we're getting. Give or take a few things. We'll be sharing more details gradually, so please stay tuned for future updates. And I'm only pausing this so I don't miss anything that he says like I did on stream. The only other thing so far, mind you, that I really want them to add to this game, which obviously, well, the only thing that they haven't said that they would add to this game, obviously they said they would add crossplay and things like that. We're still waiting on any word about crossplay, but I really want them to add more episode battles, even if they don't necessarily add a bunch more what ifs, because I'm sure that takes a lot, you know, that's probably a whole thing. Add other characters to custom battle. I said something about this yesterday. Somebody in my chat made a really good point. This was a crazy idea. I can't remember who it was, but if you're down below in the comments, shout out to you, man. Somebody in the stream said that they should add, since we already have Shallot in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero already, they should add his Dragon Ball Legends storyline to episode battle. I feel like that would be absolutely insane. So Furutani, if you're watching this, add Shallot to episode battle, add Future Gohan, add a bunch of these other characters that would guaranteed get more people to play this game again. Next, we'll introduce the roadmap. I didn't see the roadmap the first watch through of this. First, please take a look at the roadmap for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam versions, which released ahead of other platforms, obviously, right? Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 will probably be a little bit behind us, maybe? I don't know if they're caught up yet, but maybe. So, down below, wait, this is free update and DLC. This says 2026 right here. All right, so we got Mission 100 already. Then survival mode, which is going to be a free update coming out in the next couple of months. And then over the summer, it seems like is when they'll start the DLC. New DLC we released earlier is scheduled for release in summer 2026. So we won't start getting characters until this summer, but we got Mission 100 already yesterday, and we're getting survival mode in the next couple of months.
先ほどご紹介した大型 DLC の配信は今年の夏頃を予定しております。
Additionally, we're planning updates that will allow you to continue enjoying the game well into the future. We will release a free update adding a mode called Mission 100, which we're all familiar with this if you played Tenkaichi 3. And obviously survival mode. If you played literally any fighting game at all, you know what survival mode is.
100個のバトルをお楽しみいただけるシンプルなソロモードになっています。前作で遊んだことある方にとっては見覚えのあるミッション。
Honestly, I think that are all the missions the same from Tenkaichi 3? I mean, give or take like any new characters that they may have added onto like the higher mission levels. I haven't looked at any mission levels past like 20 or something like that. So so far though, it seems like these are like the same exact missions. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, my memory might not be the best, but I think these are like the same exact missions from Tenkaichi 3. Okay, and I think that's about it. All right, so that is going to do it for Furutani's message to all of us regarding Season 2 of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Mission 100 already came out. That's going to be our winter update. Survival mode is going to be over the spring, and then we'll start getting our actual new DLC. Our Season 2 Season Pass probably will come out sometime over the summer, hopefully sooner rather than later. So now we can go ahead and go over these patch notes really quickly that I didn't even know were out. This doesn't look like, yeah, this isn't too much, so we can do this fairly quickly. So this is going to be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero's patch notes for January 2026. Changes and adjustments to game modes. Main menu added Ultimate Battle to the main menu and moved Custom Battle into the Ultimate Battle section. We saw that yesterday. Mission 100 added a new solo play mode, Mission 100, with the newly added Ultimate Battle. Versus added a new CP difficulty, Ultra above. Wow, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's gonna be like some hyperbolic time training type stuff right there. We definitely got to check out the new ultra difficulty for the CPU. A custom battle in edit mode increased the maximum CPU level to 21. Okay, I'm actually really interested in this because for those of you that don't know, and maybe some of you guys even do this too, to kind of get my timing back right, instead of just hopping online and getting my ass beat or whatever, I'll go into versus mode and just strictly focus on like super counters and Z counters. I don't even care if the CPU beats me. I'll put on 5 characters on my team, 5 characters on their team or whatever, and I just strictly focus on super counter and Z counter and things like that. That's how I train my timing. I don't just go on and, you know, be at the mercy of whoever's connection I'm facing, right? I don't feel like that's a good way to do that. You can kind of adjust to the connection or whatever a little bit better than you can, you know, have to adjust to the new timing and, you know, whose ever shit connection you're playing against. Changes and adjustments to battle systems. Super perception increased key recovery when deflecting a blast. Okay, was that needed? Maybe. We'll see how that affects the gameplay as well. Rush key wave added an effect that reduces the opponent's key when they guard the move. Jump rush blast reduce key consumption. Dash rush key blast reduce key consumption for characters that fire 7 or more shots. That's actually kind of interesting. Smash key blast adjusted an issue where some key blasts would not knock down the opponent even on consecutive hits. I've never seen that before. Vanishing attack made it easier for tall characters to land follow-up vanishing attacks on grounded opponents. I've never seen that one before either. Maybe I've been victim to that. Maybe I've taken advantage of that and not even noticed before, but that's interesting as well. Action lock during key depletion. Certain counter actions that were usable have now been disabled. The button mashing UI now appears properly. So next is going to be skill changes and adjustments. Solar Flare. The effect will no longer end when approaching an affected opponent with Dragon Dash or Z Burst Dash. That's something that I didn't know that I should have been taking advantage of, but you rarely ever run into a character that uses Solar Flare, right? Well, at least I rarely ever run into those. Next is going to be blast changes and adjustments. Forward firing projectile / beam blast adjusted the hitbox toward the rear of the character during firing. Charge / rush type blast adjusted hit consistency when activated at point blank range. Did they really? Because I was still having trouble with this in particular yesterday when I was doing like my mission 100 battles and things like that. So maybe this still needs to be tweaked a little bit, or maybe it's just I just pick really horrible angles. I don't know. It's one or the other. Some blasts that could activate with Z search disabled can no longer be used. Explosion type blasts. Some blasts that could not be activated with Z search disabled can now be used. And Cell Max Bomb made it unblockable. All right, I think I saw this on a Kuwanger thumbnail if I'm not mistaken, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've like selected Cell Max like 2 or 3 times max in this game, so maybe that's something that I will experiment with. It depends on how long the startup for this is, because you know that they a couple of updates ago, well actually a long time ago, that they adjusted the unblockables in the game to make the startup extremely slow, to make it a little bit easier to dodge, because you know that was a really big problem with characters like Broly and the super spirit bomb users and things like that. It felt like you had to be on point to block those, especially if you were in point blank range. Then they slowed it down a little bit to make it more realistic for us, right? Make it a little bit more accessible to everybody. So we'll see how Cell Max feels now. Maybe I'll do a video on him. And last but not least is going to be the other section. Shop added a bulk purchase feature. Oh my god, it took them over a year to add that. That should have been something. That's a quality of life thing, but definitely should have been in the game the whole time. Next is going to be player card added longest ranked season battle win streak and longest ranked DP battle win streak for both the current seasons and lifetime totals. Another thing that should have been in the game the entire time. These are just, you know, stat readings and things like that. But definitely something that I don't really care about my win streaks or my win-loss ratio or anything like that, but it is nice to see your big numbers every now and then, right? So now that we're through this relatively small patch for January of 2026, we probably won't get another one until survival mode comes out. Let's go ahead and hop over here to Reddit so we can point out all of the characters that we just saw in the season 2 teaser trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So obviously we saw these 3, you know, they kind of showed them off the most. That would be King Piccolo, Super Saiyan Bardock, and Super 17. They were like, besides Goku and Vegeta's new super attack, they were like the main source of content for the trailer. And very, very briefly, you had to pause it to catch them. We saw Pikkon, Zanya, General Tao, Champa, and Grandpa Gohan. And even more briefly, this might not even be him, but we kind of went through this in slow-mo on the stream and figured it out that it probably is Devilman. So these are the 9 characters that we know for certain will be included in a future DLC pack for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We did get pretty much everything that we've been predicting for the past like 6 months now, those being Super 17, Demon King Piccolo, General Tao, and Pikkon. Now, some of these other characters I'm a little bit surprised with, namely Grandpa Gohan and Zanya. They seem a little bit out there. I figured at some point Champa would make it into the game. Super Saiyan Bardock, I felt like maybe I was asking for too much here, but I'm glad that they kind of centered that teaser trailer around him, Super 17, Goku and Vegeta, and Demon King Piccolo in specifically. So I'm really excited about all these characters. I know my comments have been going crazy for the past year asking about Pikkon. Guys, Pikkon is officially coming to the game, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. General Tao is one that we've been speculating on ever since like the game first came out. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like a data mine leak or something like that, and it had General Tao in it. I think it had other OG Dragon. I think it might have had Demon King Piccolo as well. So those are 2 characters that we pretty much figured were coming at some point regardless, along with Super 17 as well, like I said earlier. So this is what we're looking for. There might be more. Obviously, they want, as Furutani said, this next season of DLC will focus on a lot more than just DLC characters. We have new super attacks coming, we have new stages coming, new customizations like we saw with Teen Gohan's new BoJack movie outfit, the Turtle School gi, and probably a little bit more in the sense of surprises as well. So we have a lot of stuff coming to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I think I'm gonna end the video right here though. I don't want this to be too long. I did want to talk about Dragon Ball Age 1000 very briefly though. So as you guys know, I'm sure we all thought the same thing while we were watching this trailer. We originally thought this guy was gonna be like a new time patroller, right? And he still could be. We don't know anything about the game really. He does have Capsule Corp gear. He has a Capsule Corp outfit. Kind of resembles Great Saiyaman's outfit a little bit, at least with the color scheme and everything like that. Something interesting you guys told me though was that Dragon Ball Age 1000, that might be a funny name, but there could be a reason for that. You guys were telling me in the stream chat that Dragon Ball Online takes place in Age 1000 as well, which is exactly 216 years after the conclusion of the Dragon Ball Z manga. Could there be something here? Maybe. I'm gonna have to let you guys tell me what you think about that down below in the comment section. Maybe other people have begun to point that out as well, but I know for a fact that I saw that in my stream chat first, and I probably still wouldn't have even known that if it wasn't for you guys. So let me know what you think about the season 2 of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the new patch notes, and the little bit of information that we've gotten around Dragon Ball Age 1000. Remember that we will get more information on the new Dragon Ball game at Battle Hour, which is scheduled for April 19th through the 20th. Right now, we don't even know what genre of game Dragon Ball Age 1000 is. It could literally be anything. They showed no gameplay footage whatsoever, and I'm telling you guys, we need to hold off on judging the game until we see that. Right now, I'm still calling it Xenoverse 3. I've seen other people double down on calling it Xenoverse 3. Until they show us otherwise, this is still my hope for whatever Dragon Ball Age 1000 might be. And the little tiny detail that we get, that there is some correlation between this and Dragon Ball Online, allegedly. At least they take place in the same year, right? That's what it seems. But anyways, fellas, that is gonna do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to hop back on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. If you for some reason deleted the game, go ahead and download that bad boy again, because we are so back for this year. Dragon Ball Super Beerus scheduled for fall of 2026. Dragon Ball Super, the Moral Arc, or the Galactic Patrol, I guess is what they're calling it, is set for production now. So the anime is coming back in 2 instances, mind you, and hopefully from what we saw and what we heard when they were talking about Dragon Ball Super Beerus, they won't stop at just redoing the Beerus arc, right? Hopefully they get to the Future Saga. If they try to make this more manga accurate, there's gonna be a lot of changes in the Future Saga, and there'll be some changes in the Tournament of Power as well. So hopefully they work their way up. Even if they don't redo the whole Tournament of Power, they at least, you know, I don't know at this point. Maybe they should redo the Tournament of Power. You guys let me know. But anyways, that is going to do it for this one. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball content, because we are so back in the big 26, man. Have a great day. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, my boys.